Hello, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. And today, what we're looking at is we're still writing equations, writing linear functions, but here we're just converting a standard form linear function, which is ax plus by equals c, and we're changing it into a y equals mx plus b. Okay. So the good thing here is that if you already know how to work with literal equations, then you know everything you really need to know in order to solve this. We're going to end up having a y here, and it's going to be equal to everything over here on this side. Okay. So some things will be able to be computed, but some things won't. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. And on these, you may have to simplify fractions. So if you're not aware of how to simplify fractions, um, look up some notes on that, maybe watch a YouTube video on that, but you'll need to simplify fractions on these, okay? So let's take a look at the first example. All right, it says put the following equation of a line into slope-intercept form, simplifying all fractions. Okay, so like I said before, this is similar to literal equations, okay? And that normally they tell you what variable to solve for, but on these you always want to solve for y. You're always going to solve for y and get everything away from it. So you're going to do the opposite operations and just solve for y. All right. So the first thing you want to do is we want to move this 8x over away from the 2y here. So we're going to do that by subtracting 8x on both sides. Now, even though there's a 10 here and this is an 8 here, you can't compute this. You can't combine these two at all because they're not like terms. Okay? And what I'm going to do is, since I want to keep it in that y equals mx plus b format, I'm going to put this negative 8x in front of this negative 10. And we're almost there. So, this is what I'm going to do. The 2's, I'm sorry, sorry about that. The 8's cancel out here. And I'm going to bring down this 2y. And that's going to be equal to the negative 10. Well, I'm going to put the negative 8 first. Negative 8x minus 10. So I just wrote this right here, and I brought this over here. Just like the literal equations, you can't really compute them like that. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to solve for y. So we want to move this coefficient away from y here, which we're going to divide by 2. And just like when we multiply or do something with the literal equations, you got to do it against everything over here. So I'm going to divide by 2 on all of this. All right, so what happens next is that the 2's cancel out. I'm left with y is equal to negative 8 over 2x and negative 10 over 2. So now all we have to do here is just simplify. Now this is really easy because you just divide and it comes out even. But they don't always come out even. Sometimes it's a fraction. But negative 8 divided by 2 is 4, negative 4. And negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And then this is your answer. All right. So remember to type the whole equation in. But this is your answer right here. Let's take a look at another problem. All right, so here, same thing. We want to solve for y. We want to get the y by itself here. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in and solve for y. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract this 9x on both sides. And remember, you cannot combine these two. Then I'm going to bring down this negative 6y. Okay, I'm going to write this negative 9 first. It's not wrong if you don't, but we want to make it look like y is equal to mx plus b. That mx comes first. So negative 6y is equal to negative 9x minus 42. And now I'm going to divide by this coefficient of 6 on every term on the right side of the equation here. Alright, so my y's are going to cancel out. Okay, and this time I'm going to skip this step here where I write it out again and just go ahead and do the computation there. And this negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. And 42 divided by 6 is 7. Now here again, negative divided by a negative is a positive. But here we've got this fraction here, 9 over 6. And 6 doesn't go into 9 evenly. But you have to simplify it. Okay? So you say what number goes into both 9 and 6? And that number is 3. And 3 goes into 9 3 times. And 3 goes into 6 2 times. And then bring down the x. And you don't really need this plus in front of this, but that's your answer. All right. Now that is converting standard to slope intercept form. I want to thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Have a nice day.